A blessed day, everyone, and welcome back to our lesson and discussion about our lesson in music. Today, we will be discussing the music of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period to other art forms. This is still part of the module. Let's start with the introduction. This lesson contains a series of learnings of the music from medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period for our students. And today, we will relate these periods, the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque, to other art forms. And let's start with the medieval music. What are the history or events during the medieval period? So here are the following. The Greek vases provide evidence in music. We also have the Egyptian hieroglyphics and Pythagoras. How about the music function of the medieval time? Gregorian chant is still very famous. We also have the troubadours and of course the monophony or only one sound. How about the art forms? We have an examples of arts or art forms who become famous during this period. The first one is the Byzantine Monumental Church. It is one of the greatest achievements of the medieval art. These are from Monreale in Sicily from the late 12th century. So this is how the Byzantine Monumental Church looks like. We also have another art which is called the stained glass. The stained glass of Chartres Cathedral is composed of 167 stained glass windows built in 1190 to 1220. So this is how beautiful the stained glass of the Chartres Cathedral. We also have a painting called Madonna and a Child. And that's all for our medieval period. Let's go to our Renaissance period, or Renaissance music. What are the history or events during this period? Man discovered that the world is round. The invention of the printing press, which allowed the disbursement of this knowledge in an unprecedented manner. The invention of the compass permitted the navigation of the world's oceans and the subsequent discovery of lands far removed from the European continent. Prominent personalities in science were Galileo Galilei and Copernicus. While in arts, this was the time of Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Raphael. This is Galileo Galilei. He has been called the father of observational astronomy. He is also the father of modern physics, the father of scientific method, and the father of modern science. This is how Galileo Galilei looks like. And another science discovery during that time is discovered by Copernicus. Nicholas Copernicus' discovery of the actual position of the Earth in the solar system. And this is Copernicus. Martin Luther's Protestant Reformation happens during the Renaissance period. The Catholic Church lost its grip on society and a humanist spirit was born. This is Martin Luther, who's the Protestant Reformation. And this is Martin Luther. The spirit manifested itself in the painting and sculptures of Michelangelo, the plays of Shakespeare. Renaissance means literally rebirth, as a revival of interest in ancient Greek and Roman culture. Mass and Madrigal is very famous during this period. Both the sacred and the secular dance and vocal music of the greatest composers of the era emerged during the Renaissance time. Let's now have the art forms of the Renaissance period. Vitruvian Man of Leonardo da Vinci is one of the artwork who became famous during this time. We will be learning about this and you're learning about Da Vinci in our arts lesson. Another Da Vinci's masterpiece is Mona Lisa. It is the best known, the most visited, the most written about, the most sung about, the most parodied work of art in the world. Another painting is related to our Renaissance period, and it is the School of Athens. It was a painting painted by Raphael. And here's how the School of Athens looks like. You will be learning more about this painting on your art class. Let's go now to sculpture. This sculpture was made by Michelangelo and entitled Madonna and a Child. He also have another sculpture named David, and it's also very prominent during the Renaissance period. And last but not the least is a painting entitled Saint George and the Dragon. So these are the artworks who become very famous and related to our Renaissance music. Let's now have the last but not the least period, which is the Baroque era and its music. Let's now have the history and events of Baroque era or Baroque period. Namely, Baroque art forms reflected with aspects of grandeur, expansiveness, theatricality, ornamentation, and rhythmic vitality. Baroque is an era of absolute monarchy. The ruler of the France was King Louis XIV. Cromwell ruled England and Peter the Great governed Russia. When we say monarchy, it is a form of government in which a single individual, often called the king or queen, exercises complete control over all aspects of the government. The position of monarch in such a country is hereditary. The aristocracy has a different culture from the middle class. Great thinkers like Descartes, Hobbes, Spinoza, Locke tackled the big questions of existence. Geniuses like Rubens, Rembrandt, and Shakespeare offered perspectives through their art. First half of 17th century was dominated in Germany by religious political wars known as the 30-Year War or a Protestant Catholic. Advances in technology, such as invention of the telescope, made what was believed to be finite seems infinite. So this is one of the greatest achievement and discovery during the Baroque period, the telescope. It is an optical instrument designed to make distant object appears nearer, containing an arrangement of lenses or a curved mirror and lenses, by which rays of light are collected and focused and resulting image magnified. How about the music functions of Baroque period? Opera was created as a new form and performed by the public on a lavish scale little known today. Of course, we also have fugue, oratorio, and cantata, and music are exaggerated. Let's now go to the art forms of Baroque era. The Latai, or the milkmaid, became famous during this period. The milkmaid, sometimes called the kitchen maid, is an oil canvas painting of a milkmaid. In fact, a domestic kitchen maid by a Dutch artist, Johannes Vermeer. Another art that became famous during Baroque is none other than the sculpture of the Ecstasy of Saint Therese. Ecstasy of Saint Teresa is the central sculptural group in which marble in the Cornaro Chapel, Santa Maria della Vittoria, Rome, created by none other than Bernini. There you have it, everyone. That concludes our lesson for today. So now, I think you're ready to make and answer your activity. So here is an example of the answer, wherein you will put the history, the music function, and the art forms. And there you have it. That is all about the lesson about music of medieval Renaissance and Baroque period to other art forms. I hope you learned something for today. And I'll see you again our next meeting, wherein we will discuss about the improvisation of the appropriate accompaniment to selected music from the medieval Renaissance and Baroque period. Don't forget to subscribe to be updated with our lessons. Thank you and bye-bye!